So I think the thing that we could get better at as preachers and teachers, as secularization and hostility continues to rise, and as honestly, we're not even hardly being listened to anymore before we get categorized. I think there's two real things that we could grow in, and whether that be seminaries or mentorship or whatever, I think we could learn how to paint God's way as being more beautiful than the world's way, a little bit better, rather than just kind of harping on or going off on or having a rant concerning. We could do I think we could do a better job of going, okay, here's what God's after, here's what God wants to do, here's how He's designed this and why He designed it that way, and this is for your good, not trying to take anything from you, but try to lead you into life. So there's a way to preach and teach that way that I think leads me to the second thing, that then is saturated in the grace of God, where instead of shame on you, I can't believe you guys do this, God finds this to be despicable and evil. And I don't think those are untrue truths. I think they're accurate, and yet I think if we're not careful, we can set up this stumbling block to people, especially really secularized people, who don't have a category for sin and don't have a category for, but still have a category for beauty. And to be able to say, this is what God has for us. This is what God's about. When we're talking about marriage, when we're talking about sexuality, when we're talking about gender, here's what we're like, look how beautiful this is, as opposed to kind of the more, I don't know if it's more traditional or what it is, but what I kind of experienced early on in the kind of tearing down of people. And I know the law exposes sin, so I'm not trying to ever say, to not say something is sinful, but to start with a compelling picture of what God is after, and be really gracious in that, and then get into the weaknesses and really the brokenness that's in the current way of thinking around these kind of topics.